So, hey, everybody, welcome to tonight's call.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know me, my name's Mike Behrens. I am the sales rep for
Yes, go.
Xendurance. I've been part of Xendurance for quite a while, been in the supplement industry for quite a while, had a great working relationship with Brendan over the years. And kind of the goal of tonight's call is to touch on some supplement stuff. So we're going to go over that. I want to try to give you as much information about supplements as I possibly can to make sure that you are getting the information so that you know, because I understand that there's a lot of confusion around supplementation in the world of supplements. So I'm going to go ahead and roll right into everything. We'll get started and cover the information. And then at the end, we'll open it up to answer any specific questions that anyone might have so that hopefully I can address any specific issues or anything you have about supplementation. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is you know how in the world of supplements, there's a million different supplements on the market. So many of them claim to do this or do that. And sometimes those claims sound too good to be true. Sometimes, like you don't know what to believe, what not to believe. There's confusion, misinformation around supplementation. You don't even know where to start when it comes to supplements. And then most people have an immediate feeling or opinion when the topic of supplementation comes up, to the point where, like, you've tried them, you didn't get any results, you felt like it was just a waste of money. And then you get to the point where you're just like, you know what, screw it. I don't even want to bother with supplements. They don't even work for me. Right. And a lot of times that's what I find in supplements when I'm talking about them with people, because of the confusion and the lack of knowledge and the misinformation in the marketplace. But the reality is supplements can help you perform better and live healthier longer. So supplements work. They've been proven to work time and time again, and they can actually help you increase your performance and recover better and stuff like that. So I want to address the question, are supplements right for you? And if they are, which ones are right for you? Okay. Just because supplements work doesn't mean that every single one of them is right for every single person. It's very individualized on who they're going to work for and who they're not going to work for. So that's kind of the point of what we're going to do tonight. We're going to kind of talk about some of the problems with supplementation, and some of the things that I like to roll through and talk about are, definitely the confusion, definitely the misinformation that's in the marketplace. I want to talk about supplement companies pulling a fast one on the consumer, because I think with the marketing that's out there, I want to address some of that stuff and talk about some of the things. There's a lack of knowledge that the supplement companies prey on, because you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so with that lack of knowledge, companies then use that, and that they take it and they make the cheapest product for the highest profit. And that is not something that is beneficial for you or me or for anyone, because the cheapest product is the lowest quality ingredients and so on and so forth. And then it's just a quick way for them to make money, which then creates this environment of, do these products even work for you? Do they make sense? Are they going to be beneficial for your long-term health? And it brings up the question of, like, what are these supplements that maybe aren't doing anything for me right now? What are they going to do for my long-term health? Or are they going to damage my long-term health? Because supplement companies a lot of times will put ingredients in their products that could cause long-term damage. So that's something that I definitely like to address when I have a talk like this. And this is something that I would normally do in a gym, but obviously I can't come see you guys right now because of all of the restrictions and things like that. So what we want to talk about is, what are these supplements going to do for you? Now, if you find supplements that work for you and you take supplements and you get a good healthy regimen with a whole food diet and quality supplementation, ultimately it's going to help you live healthier longer. That's the goal here, right? Like, we all want to live as long and as healthy as we possibly can and maximize our lives and be as healthy as possible, so that at the end of our lives we're in good shape and we can handle everything. And you can handle that in the weight room, you got to handle that in the kitchen, and with your supplementation. There's definitely three aspects to it that can help you live that long, healthy life. If you don't try supplements or believe in supplements, are you going to live a long life? Yeah, probably. Are you going to be as healthy as you possibly could? Maybe not, right? Like you can definitely achieve a greater health by supplementing where your diet may be lacking and where your recovery might be a little harder. The supplements are going to help with all of that kind of stuff. So that's where I come into this, is to help educate you on how this can help you and how supplements can help you in all those different areas, from recovery to having a healthier diet and feeling better on a daily basis. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure that we're covering some different areas, and I lay out kind of a plan for you on how to approach the conversation of supplementation. Now, for me, I've been in the supplement world for 8+ years. And I've seen the full spectrum of supplements, from mainstream companies that are only concerned about profit to the company I work with now, Xendurance, where it is health over everything. Just a quick backstory: this founder of the company created all of these products for himself. And so selfishly, he only puts the absolute best ingredients in every single product that we create. And so there's just a big difference in the types of products that are in the industry. And I've been able to see all of them during my time in supplements. And so what I like to do is I want to address all those things, because I hate seeing people that are taking a product thinking it's doing them good, but it's actually doing them harm. And I hate to do that. So I want to address those things and make sure that we can get through that and get you guys on a path towards living healthier. And a couple of the ways that we're going to do that with the plan is I want to, first, we're going to cut through the confusion. That's the big thing that we're going to look for, is we're going to cut through the confusion. I want to address some things that happen in the marketplace that make it confusing, and to why that, the wool might be getting pulled over your eyes. Then we're going to talk about what to look for and what to avoid in supplementation. And then we're going to talk about what makes sense for you, what products make sense for you, and stuff like that. Okay. So before we dig into cutting through the confusion, I need to tell you that with supplements, I'm a huge advocate of getting whole food first, right? Supplements are just that. Supplements are a supplement to a healthy diet. So you always want to go with whole food first. Now, I'm a supplement salesman. I make my living selling supplements, but I will still forever push whole food first. And that's always the best option. So don't ever misconstrue what I'm saying to you. I'm never telling you to replace completely whole food with a supplement. Any company that is telling you that, hey, just drink our shakes all day and you'll lose weight, they're feeding you a bunch of crap. Now, you might get some results, but it's not going to be sustainable long-term, and it's not going to be good for your health long-term either. Okay. So just be wary of that when you start to dig into supplements. If it's only pushing supplements, then the company's not really concerned about your health for the long term. So the first thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to cutting through the confusion is answer the question: do you even need supplements? Well, based on what I just said about whole foods, no, not really. You don't need them. You're going to survive. You'll be fine if you don't have supplementation. But will supplements help you live healthier? Absolutely. Can supplements fill in the holes that maybe the vitamins and nutrients that you're not getting? Yes, absolutely. But if you're eating a perfectly balanced whole food diet with a wide variety, then maybe you don't need as many supplements as another person. But if you're like me, where you have the same 5 to 10 meals all the time, you're probably not getting a wide variety of supplementation. You could certainly benefit from getting a better supplements, or having some type of supplement to fill in your diet. Or if you are trying to put on some size or anything like that, or if you're trying to lose some weight, there's supplements that can help in those categories to just make your body operate a little more effectively. Okay. So food first always. Do you even need supplements? No, you don't, but they can absolutely help you. With the cutting through the confusion side of things, mainstream supplement companies will tell you that a product is going to help you do this, right? And that comes from any type of product claims because of ingredients that are in the products. And what I always try to go to when it comes to mainstream marketing and how they promote a product is you want to look at the dosage and how effective that product is and the quality of that ingredient. Because if I use this example with protein, right? Everybody understands protein. Protein helps your muscles recover. And if there's a product that has 2 grams of protein in it, the label on the front can say helps with muscle recovery because it has protein in it. Because absolutely it does. Protein helps with muscle recovery, right? But the dosage of 2 grams isn't really going to do that much to help with recovery. So if you have a product that's got 20 grams of protein in it, it's obviously going to help better when it comes to helping your body recover. So the dosage is incredibly important when talking about protein. And that's something that the mainstream marketing doesn't really touch on too much because it's easier to pull the wool over your eyes. Okay. And then with that, it brings up the conversation that I like to address with people about the absorption of the products. Because if your body can't absorb the supplements that you're taking, then it's not doing any good, and you're essentially literally pissing away money because your body doesn't absorb what you are consuming from the supplement. So making sure that that is key. I use the same analogy of a different ingredient, vitamin C. There's different grades of ingredients, and if you take a vitamin C supplement, but it's such a low grade that your body doesn't know how to absorb it, then you're not doing yourself any good by taking that product. Or if it's not paired with the right other nutrients, then it's not going to absorb as effectively. So that's incredibly important when you start talking about supplementation and the different types of ingredients and the different products that are available in the marketplace. And because the supplement industry as a whole has kind of become a race to the bottom over the years, it has driven down costs a lot, but it's also driven down the quality. And so then our bodies are not used to low grade, poor quality stuff that's been produced the way it's been produced. So then our bodies are like, when you take a supplement, it tries to do something with it and absorb it, but it can't because it doesn't recognize it, or it doesn't know what to do with it because it's such a poor grade of ingredient, right? And then when you want to do that, you want to make sure that your products are backed by science, and companies that back their products in science try to put effective dosages in their ingredient or in their products through the effective dosage of the ingredients. And then it's going to help move things in the right direction as far as repairing your health. And companies that claim they're backed by science can put ingredients in here, but if they're truly backed by science, they're not going to put anything in your product that is detrimental to your health. And so that's where I start to talk, and I get a little bit into the weeds with things, and I don't want to lose you guys. So I want to address something very quickly that is a little bit sciencey, a little bit. It's about gut health. And with our gut health, the big thing, this is incredibly important because as more studies are done, more science is done, we're learning that our gut is like our second brain. And it's incredibly important to just everyday health. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about probiotics and things like that. They're going to help repair your gut health. A lot of times in supplements, there's things that damage your gut health too, which then affects the absorption of products and absorption of ingredients. So I want to use a quick visual to show you a couple things. There's 2 visuals I want to show you. First one is, if you think of your gut and the health of your gut, and this is your intestines, your stomach, this is where everything absorbs into your body so that your body can utilize it. Your gut and your small intestines, if you think of your intestinal wall as a hand, when you have poor quality ingredients or inflammatory things that you eat or absorb, whether it's high fatty foods or artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, things like that, it's going to damage your gut wall, right? And so what happens is when your gut wall gets damaged, it looks like an open hand. And then so when you consume food or a supplement, whatever it may be, all of that just goes right through that wall and goes into your body and creates what's called free radicals, which is damage that's happening to your body because your gut wall is not closed to absorb things properly. So when you have good gut health, your gut wall is closed up. So when you consume food or supplements, it hits that wall and then absorbs properly. So then you're not causing free radical damage to your body. You're not causing that inflammation to your body, and you're living healthier because your gut's in better repair. Does that make sense to everybody? So what that means, though, is I'm sure you've heard of inflammation. Basically, think of your body like it's on fire because inflammation is happening in your body from the free radical damage that's happening to your body because of that gut wall not being healthy. And so in supplementation, addressing free radical damage is huge for long-term health. Is it going to help with performance? Absolutely. Yes, because your body will recover faster. But from a long-term, live as long as possible, as healthy as possible effect, addressing free radical damage and inflammation is huge. And so one of the things that I address when it comes to supplementation, they should always be working to reduce inflammation, reduce free radical damage, and reduce a thing called oxidative stress. Now, usually when I say that, I asked a doctor one time, do you ever get to talk to your patients about oxidative stress? And he said, no, nobody even knows what that means. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. Nobody does know what that means. So I want to give you a quick illustration of what that means to see how it relates to everything we're talking about and how that looks inside your body. Okay. So if you think of, with oxidative stress, I want you to think of an apple. If you are eating an apple and you cut it in half, and you eat one side, or you set the two sides down, one side, you don't do anything to it and you let it sit for a little while, you don't eat it. After a while, that apple starts to get brown. And so then that is oxidative stress that's happening. The apple is oxidizing, which is then causing stress to it, which is turning it brown, making it deteriorate, making it unedible after a little while, right? And if you let it sit for days, it'll get all nasty and rotten and nobody would want to touch it. Well, that's the oxidative stress happening because of the free radicals in the air that are causing that to the apple. But if you were to take something like a vitamin C, which is an antioxidant, and or if you take an orange or a lemon and squirt it on the apple, it will protect it from turning brown. So it's protecting against the oxidative stress that's happening. So that apple then wouldn't turn brown. And what that's doing, it's protecting it. So think of that apple as the cells in your body. And when you have poor gut health and inflammatory things come in your body and they damage your cells, it starts to oxidize your cells, which then deteriorates your cells, which then ultimately deteriorates your body. And it's harder to recover, harder to get back to being healthy and live healthier longer. I use the saying, when your cells are happy, your body's happy. If your cells are unhappy, your body's not going to be happy, right? So you want to address things at a cellular level. And I know that is a lot of too much, or most people start to tune me out when I start to talk about this, but I love to show this visual because it makes it very real that, hey, I'm damaging myself by doing this with the free radical damage and things. So I hope that didn't lose anyone and it all makes sense to everybody, because that is incredibly important when it comes to supplementation, which then leads me to the next topic that I want to talk about, is what to look for and what to avoid when it comes to supplements. And there's a couple big things that I absolutely tell everyone to look for, because we want to focus on addressing the gut health. We want to make sure we're getting good, clean, quality products. And that's the first thing, is we want to make sure that anything we're taking is certified drug-free. So you want to look at the labels, make sure that it's certified by a third party, that it's drug-free, that it's tested. And one of the things that you can look for is a company called Informed Choice or Informed Sport. That's the number one company in the world for testing for drug-free, that products are drug-free, and they test for like 140 different banned substances, trusted by the Olympic Committee, all that kind of stuff. And because the supplement industry isn't regulated by the FDA, these types of third-party governing bodies are incredibly important to getting you the best clean quality product that you can. So always look for that when you're trying to get a supplement. Next thing I want you to look for is you want to look and see if it has artificial sweeteners or artificial flavors, because those types of things will actually start to cause that free radical damage in your body. The biggest culprit here is an ingredient called sucralose. Most supplement companies will use sucralose to sweeten their products. Sucralose is an artificial sugar. It's 300 times sweeter than regular cane sugar. So you don't have to use as much of it to sweeten a product, but it's artificial and it wreaks havoc in your body. There's been studies to show that your body will eliminate most of it, but not all of it. And that's what causes the damage to your gut health, which then causes the inflammation leads to the oxidative stress. So it's incredibly important that when you're getting a supplement or anything for that matter, that you try to avoid any type of food, any type of anything that's processed or anything like that. Try to avoid as much sucralose as you can to keep your gut in better repair. Okay. So that's really, really important when you look at the ingredient quality of a supplement. You want to make sure that you're addressing those things first and foremost. A couple other things that I like to talk about with it, because most people aren't familiar with it. Everybody understands protein and knows that protein helps with muscle recovery and things like that, but there's so many different kinds of protein that it gets kind of confusing. And it's always a question that I like to address and make sure that you know what you're looking for when it comes to protein. Now, when I talked about the different grades of ingredients, there's different grades of protein. So again, there's a low quality protein and then there's a high quality protein. But even in that, there's different types. Now, the simplest, easiest protein to produce is called a whey concentrate. And in that, there's different grades of whey concentrate. Now, if you've ever shopped at Costco for a big 70 serving bag that costs you $20, that's a cheap whey concentrate. It's probably made by Optimum Nutrition. It's the cheapest form of whey concentrate protein that you can get. But then I know the gym in the past, I don't know if Brendan still offers it, they've offered a protein from a company called SFH. They have a premium quality whey concentrate. And so the difference there is obviously in price, there's a big difference, but the SFH whey concentrate is a much, much better quality whey concentrate that's going to be a little bit easier on your body than the cheap quality whey concentrate. With that said, a whey concentrate is a little bit harder for your body to digest. So then if you've ever had the bubble guts or the protein farts from taking a whey protein, that's usually the culprit, because there's a lack of filtering that happens. There's some impurities in there with the whey concentrate that it's harder for your body to digest. So then you have those stomach issues and digestion issues. The next step from a whey concentrate is a protein called a whey isolate. And that's a partially broken down, partially pre-digested protein. So it's easier for your body to digest. It's still a whey dairy-based protein, but it's easier for your body to digest. Then from there, there's a whey hydrolysate, which is even more broken down, which is even easier. The filtering, it's filtered out almost all the impurities so that it's super easy on your body to absorb, and you don't have to have any stomach issues or anything like that. There's also casein protein, which is a slower digesting protein to help your body with recovery for a longer period of time. It's a great multi-purpose protein because it's going to help you with that recovery, and mixing hydrolysate and casein together will give you the best of both worlds, a fast and a slow acting protein. There's also vegan proteins. This is something I like to address because, especially in a gym community, vegan proteins are great. I have no problem with vegan protein whatsoever. A lot of times, though, they're not a complete amino acid profile protein. And what I mean by that is they're not going to be as good for your muscle recovery as a whey protein. So if you're choosing a vegan protein because you can't handle dairy, by all means, go ahead. But if you're choosing vegan protein just because you like it better, or you're trying to, personal choice, whatever it may be, right? The dairy-based protein is going to be better for muscle recovery than a vegan protein by itself, unless you're supplementing with amino acids and all that kind of stuff. So a dairy-based protein has a complete amino acid profile. And then one other type of protein that I like to address is collagen protein. Now, collagen protein is a great product, and I feel like everybody could benefit from being on a collagen protein or getting more collagen in their life. But it's not going to be as good for muscle recovery. So again, in the gym community, when you're taking a protein, you want to help your muscles recover. So buying a collagen protein to address muscle recovery is not going to be as effective as getting a whey protein or even a vegan protein. A vegan protein will help with muscle recovery, just not as well as a dairy-based protein. So collagen protein, if vegan protein and dairy protein are good for muscle recovery, collagen protein is great for everything else. So like skin, hair, nails, all that kind of stuff, joints, collagen protein is great for that. And you should definitely get some of that. The collagen actually works with the whey protein to make the effects a little bit better. So it's a great 1-2 punch when you're doing collagen and whey protein together. Okay. So that's one more thing that I tell people to look for when it comes to protein, and figure out which protein makes the most sense for you. Another thing to look for in supplements is capsules versus tablets. Now, there's a difference because in the way that you consume a pill. Now, the easiest way to explain this is if you look at a multivitamin, more often than not, a multivitamin is going to be a compressed tablet. And what happens, that compression packs everything in there nice and tight, nice and neat, so that you can swallow it and take it down and get a lot of vitamins. But the absorption needs to happen in your stomach. And because that compression is so compact, the absorption doesn't start to happen in your stomach. And then it starts to break down in your small intestine. But because the nature of a multivitamin, your body doesn't break it down enough, so that you usually end up just eliminating that pill before you can actually get the benefit from it. So if you're taking like a men's one a day or a women's one a day or something like that, you might as well just throw it in the trash, because that's or throw it in the toilet, because that's usually what you're doing anyways, because your body's not absorbing it. So you definitely want to make sure that if you're purchasing a multivitamin, that you're getting a multivitamin that comes in a gel cap or a capsule or something like that, so the absorption can happen in the right spot. Now, with that said, there are some supplements that are designed specifically to break down in the small intestine, and those will need to be a compressed tablet. But for pretty much everything else, the best way to go is in a capsule form, or if there's, like, I've seen collagen proteins that come in a cap or in a compressed tablet, you're better off taking those as a powder than you would be as a tablet. Okay, so that's another thing to look for and make sure you're avoiding with supplementation. And then again, ingredient quality is the most important, because if you're getting a low quality ingredient, your body will not absorb that, and it will not be able to utilize that. And what's the point of taking something if you can't absorb it and can't utilize it? It does no good. You can have a product that's a high enough dose, but if it's not in a quality that your body can recognize and use, then it's not doing any good. Okay. So that is kind of my quick what to look for, what to avoid, what to stay away from in supplementation. So now I want to talk about what makes sense for you and what makes sense for most people when it comes to supplementation. So the first thing that I like to say here is it's different for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, your supplementation regimen is going to be different. But there are a few foundational products that I like to address with people. And those foundational products are a multivitamin, number one, a fish oil, number two, and vitamin D. Those three things are huge for a baseline health and wellness, because they're going to help fight against inflammation, help fight against oxidative stress, help fight against any type of damage that's going on in your body. Those are going to give your body the best fighting chance to support your immune system and all that kind of stuff. And if 2020 has shown us anything, having a supported immune system is kind of a big deal. I don't know if anybody realizes there's a pandemic going on or anything like that, but having a strong immune system is a pretty big deal. Okay, so making sure that you have a good foundation of those three types of supplements is huge. So the reason behind that is because fish oil specifically addresses inflammation. It's going to help bring down the inflammation in your body. It's huge. When you start talking about inflammation, I mentioned earlier to think about it like your body's on fire with the inflammation that's happening. If you have been maybe eating not very well, and then there's different stresses that happen from the environment, different things that are going on to cause inflammation in your body, inflammation starts to build and starts to grow and starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so what happens is you just get this point of like your house is on fire, and you have so much inflammation in your body that you just kind of get numb to it, and you just start to live in this state of incredible inflammation that you don't even realize because you're just used to it, right? And so what I'll tell people with that is you want to go at that like crazy because you want to put the fire out. And if you try to put the fire out with a cup of water, it's not going to get you anywhere, right? But if you turn the fire hose on it, it's going to bring that inflammation way down. So when it comes to taking a fish oil product, I tell everybody I talk to start with a high dose of fish oil to bring down your inflammation as fast as you can. So you can start to see a benefit, start to notice a benefit. And you can, if you build that fire way up and the inflammation's big and you're throwing a cup of water on it all the time, you're just going to stay at this level. But if you then address it and turn the fire hose on, you're going to bring that way down. And then you can turn back to more of a maintenance dose of the fish oil. So getting something high in omega-3s, which is a fish oil, unless you're allergic to fish, I would highly recommend everybody on this call get on a fish oil if you aren't already. And then partnering that with vitamin D is huge because they're going to help with the absorption and make each other work better, right? And vitamin D, for those of us in the Midwest going into the winter, we don't get much sun or as much as we'd like. So supplementing with vitamin D is huge when it comes to supporting our immune system. I know there has been some studies, do your own research, but there's been some studies to show that having adequate levels of vitamin D help minimize the risk of COVID and help minimize the risk of getting it, but then also the severity of getting it when you do get it, if you have adequate levels of vitamin D in your system. So that's something to definitely check into. And then also I know that vitamin D helps a great deal when it comes to mood support. My dad will take vitamin D in a high dose during the winter because he struggles with depression during the wintertime because he's not outside getting as much sun. But in the summertime, he virtually doesn't supplement with vitamin D at all because he gets out and gets plenty of sun in the summer. So that's a huge thing for you to supplement with as well. Definitely part of the foundation because it helps with the fish oil. And then a multivitamin. Multivitamins are huge because the nature of our food nowadays is not as good as it used to be. And the way our food is manufactured, the quality just isn't there. It's not as nutrient dense. So being able to supplement with a multivitamin to get that extra vitamin, the vitamins and nutrients that your body needs, the antioxidants that your body needs to fight off the inflammation and the oxidative stress is huge for long-term health. So those three types of products, I would highly recommend doing. Again, you can get most of them from food, but use those products to supplement and to fill in the gaps that are probably in your diet. Because I know I have them in mine, and I wouldn't be getting all my vitamins and nutrients if I didn't supplement with a multivitamin. Okay, so then now because I'm talking to a gym, and we're talking about recovery, and we want to talk about performance, and we want to talk about being better in the gym, lifting more, running faster, all the different things, PRing different lifts and things. There's a couple products around training that I think are incredibly important as well. The first I want to address is protein, and then we're going to talk about pre-workouts. Protein is important around your workout. Do you need to supplement with it? You don't have to. You can, and it's going to be a huge benefit, but you don't have to. But what I usually recommend is you want to get something in your stomach beforehand, some kind of protein beforehand, and some kind of protein afterwards. So if you're coming from work and going straight to work out and you didn't have time to eat or whatever it is, then try to get some protein in your system. And if that means you got to have a protein shake, then go ahead and get a protein shake. When you get done working out, if you had a protein shake beforehand and then you're going to go home and eat supper, then just get some protein with supper, and you don't need to have another protein shake. If you're an athlete that's trying to, get ready for a competition, or you got a big event coming up or something like that, and you really want to maximize recovery, then extra protein shakes are not going to hurt you. You would have to do an insane amount of protein shakes for it to become a thing. I don't think you could even do that because it would take a lot on a daily basis for it to really do any kind of issues, right? People will give me pushback sometimes on protein shakes and kidneys or whatever. It's not real. Okay. Unless you have a medical condition, then, tell me to shut up. But, supplementing with protein shakes is definitely good around training. Absolutely a great option for you. The other thing I like to talk about around training is pre-workouts. And this is kind of a sticking point for me because, I used to be a pre-workout guy. I used to drink pre-workouts like they were going out of style. When I worked for a company called Muscle Farm, they had a product called Assault, and it had over 200 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. And I would probably do maybe 6 to 8 scoops of that a day. And this was years ago when I was a little younger, a little dumber, and didn't really know what was going on. But it's something that, yeah, Bob, they were awesome flavors. They really were. The grape was my favorite, but they tore me up inside. They were terrible when it came to my long-term health. But I just got to the point where my body just craved it and I needed it all the time. But as I've grown and matured and learned more about supplementation, when it comes to pre-workouts, specifically in a performance-driven workout, high stimulant pre-workouts can be counterproductive, and they're not going to help you perform as optimally as you could. And so too much caffeine starts to restrict the blood flow in the body, which is going to make your body gas out faster. So if you're doing a long workout, you're going to get tired faster if you have too much caffeine in your system. And then I say with pre-workouts, if you look at the calorie content for a pre-workout, it's usually between 0 and 5, maybe 10 calories per scoop, but there's a crap ton of caffeine in there, right? So you're going to get a lot of stimulant, but you're not going to get much energy, if that makes sense. Because when you think about it, calories are energy. You need energy for the workout. And the best way to get energy for a workout is through carbohydrates, because carbs are calories, calories are energy. So for you to supplement with a stimulant heavy pre-workout, you're not doing yourself any favors. So I will tell people to rethink the way you think about a pre-workout. Getting some carbohydrates, whether it be a simple sugar or a piece of fruit or something like that before a workout, is going to give you a much better workout than if you just do a pre-workout, a traditional pre-workout. Okay. And the thought process behind that, and just to explain it and give you another visual real quick, is we all have glycogen stores in our body. Our glycogen stores are at like a base level all the time. And then when you start to work out, you dip into that glycogen store. And so then the glycogen store is your sugar stores, your carbohydrates that your body's burning to do the workout, to give your body the energy that it needs. When you start to work out, you dip into that and you go down into the glycogen store until you're depleted. And then once you're depleted, then you can't work out anymore because you're just done, right? Like you give up. And so after the workout, you then got to replace that glycogen store and get yourself back up to that base level. Well, supplementing with a high stimulant pre-workout doesn't do anything to counter that glycogen store. But if you supplement with a carbohydrate-based pre-workout, it's going to give you the fuel that you need so that you don't have to dip into that glycogen store during the workout, because you'll be burning the fuel from the carbohydrate that you just consumed. So then at the end of the workout, you recover faster, you get back to a baseline level of your glycogen store so your body can operate more effectively faster. And now when I talk about carbohydrates, a lot of times people will tell me, oh, I don't need any more carbs. I'm trying to burn calories. I'm trying to do all this. Yeah, I get it. And any other time of the day, if you want to stay away from the carbs, by all means, go ahead. But around your training window, you're doing yourself a disservice by not having carbohydrates to fuel your workouts. Okay. So carbohydrates, you think about it like this. If you have some carbohydrates and you get a better workout, you're going to ultimately burn more calories because your workout's going to be better. You're going to push harder and you're going to amplify the effects of that workout because you had the proper fuel to get the proper workout. Okay. I know it seems backwards, but it's the reality of the situation. If you're operating at a deficit, you're not going to be able to go as hard. Your body's not going to operate as effectively and you're not going to be able to burn as more. So if you are losing weight, go ahead and have some carbs beforehand or some carbs afterwards to help with recovery. Okay. So those are things that I really like to address when it comes to what makes sense for you. And we can talk about that a little bit more. If anyone has specific questions, we'll dig into that at the end of this. Right now, what I want to do though, is I want to go over the Xendurance product line real quick and show you guys what Xendurance has to support you in your fitness goals. But for some of you, there's a few of you on here that I don't recognize, that I don't think I've ever talked to before. And I know Brendan said that he's had a lot of new members join the club. So I want to give you a quick overview of what Xendurance is. If you've never heard of it, Xendurance is a health and wellness company that focuses on supplements for every lifestyle. They've been around for 20 years. Started with elite level athletes, Olympic level athletes. That's where the company got its start. Working with elite level athletes, creating products for elite level athletes. So didn't mess around with any crappy ingredients or anything like that, and really focused on optimizing performance. So if you're looking for better performance with supplementation, Xendurance is the best company for you to take products from, because they will help you perform better every single day. But they've also created supplements for every lifestyle, because what we've found is, because we have done such a good job of maintaining the quality over the years, it has shown that if we can create improvement and make an elite level athlete a better athlete, it's crazy the difference that we can make in the average person for their everyday health, right? So if these products will make an already optimally trained person better, then it's going to do wonders for people like me, because I'm not optimally trained. I mean, I'm in decent shape, but not, definitely not an elite level athlete. So it's focused on living healthier longer. That's our goal here. We want to help as many people as we can live healthier longer. That's the whole idea behind any supplement that we create. And so what we've done is we have a couple different categories of supplements. There's daily products that we focus on. The Extreme Endurance is it's like our unicorn product, we call it. I'll talk about that in just a second. But the other products there is the Omega plus D3. This is a fish oil plus vitamin D. So part of that foundation that I talked about that's good for everyone. The Immune Boost back here is a multivitamin. It's in a capsule form. Very, very powerful. It's got over 25 different antioxidants to help fight against oxidative stress. Joint Formula, the screen lettering here. If you're having any type of joint pain or anything like that, this will help. The founder of the company actually specifically created this for himself after being an Olympic bobsledder for years and beating the hell out of his body while bobsledding. He needed something to help him be able to walk around every single day. So he swears by that joint product. And then the Extreme Endurance. This has been clinically shown multiple times through double-blind, placebo-controlled studies to reduce oxidative stress by 39%. Now, if you remember what I talked about before, cell health, oxidative stress, this reduces that by 39%, which is huge when it comes to cellular health. It also decreases lactic acid by 26%. So if you've ever done a wall ball and had to do a lot of them in a short amount of time, and your legs start to cramp up after a while and you just get gassed out, that's lactic acid building up. This decreases that by 26%. So you're not going to gas out as fast. You will improve your times. If you're familiar with the workout Karen, which I'm assuming most of you are, it's not a fun workout, but we've had people increase their time as much as 3 minutes just from taking the Extreme Endurance for a week, because it buffers lactic acid so well. And then the other thing it does, it's been clinically shown to do, is reduce muscle damage in the body. So you're not digging yourself in as deep of a hole when you're working out, so that you can recover a little bit faster. Next category of products are the energy category. Now, I talked about carbs are calories, calories are energy. These are based around the Fuel 5 and the Fuel 5 Plus. These are carbohydrate-based pre-workouts that will help you perform better in the gym so you can get more out of your workouts, because they're carbohydrate-based. There's 4 different types of carbohydrates, one of them being organic sweet potato powder. So it's going to give you a longer, more sustained energy source. And there's some simple carbs in there as well, so you get a faster bit of energy when working out. And then lactate, which is your body's go-to fuel source for performance. Then this is an energy gel, very similar to the Fuel 5 and the Fuel 5 Plus, just in a gel form. Great for grab and go if you're like on a hike or something like that. If you're a runner and you've ever had one of those goo packs that are a gel that you squeeze and take in while you're running a long distance, just like that, but a little easier to take down. Next 2 products are Hydro, which is a sugary sports drink replacement. It does everything that a sugary sports drink claims to do, but actually does it and is good for you. And then this last product is Focus, which is, for lack of a better word, an energy drink. It's going to help you with energy, mental clarity, really going to dial in your focus. I feel like it turns your brain on when you take it, because there's an ingredient in there that has been shown to support brain health, and it makes your brain operate and fire more efficiently. Plus there's 130 milligrams of caffeine in there, so you get some energy as well. So if you're someone who drinks a lot of energy drinks, this would be a great alternative and a very healthy way to get off of the garbage energy drinks. I know for me, I used to drink 3 or 4 bangs a day. I'm not proud of it. I don't like to tell it that to too many people, but I definitely did. And this has completely replaced that for me. I don't even need the bangs anymore, and I'll have that 2 or 3 times a day, and it's way less caffeine, but I feel like I have more energy now than I've ever had, because of that product. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink anything but that for energy. And it's awesome. I'll tell you how to get some free samples of that here in a little bit. Next product category that we're going to talk about is the recovery product category. Proteins, the 2 in the back are whey-based, dairy-based proteins. 4 types of protein in one. It's the hydrolysate, isolate, casein, and caseinate. So you're getting a wide array of different absorption rates so that you can fuel your body for a longer period of time. Creatine, I feel like this falls into a foundational product for me, specifically in this setting for the gym community, because it's going to help you with recovery. It addresses cellular health. Think of creatine as the energy source for your cells. It's going to help with recovery and all that kind of stuff. CB Deep Sleep, this is a sleep product. So if you have trouble sleeping, or if you have young children like I do that don't let you sleep during the night and you need to maximize every minute of sleep that you get, CB Deep Sleep will help that. I tell people it help. I feel like I sleep faster because of it. So that's a great product to try. It's a chewable tablet. And then this is a CBD full spectrum oil, which if you're, hearing anything about CBD, really this is going to address the quality piece of it, because the CBD conversation is a new thing. People are getting familiar with it, but I always say you want to make sure you go to the source and figure it out. If you're buying your CBD at a gas station, probably not the best quality for you to purchase. Okay. This CBD tastes like the peach rings, the gummy peach rings that you can get. It's pretty awesome. Last category is our transform category. The lean is a vegan protein plus superfood greens. So you get 20 grams of vegan protein plus a full serving of superfood greens. So it's a 2-in-1 product. Next one, the darker green bag, is collagen and greens. You get 16 grams of collagen protein, plus that same superfood greens. The collagen greens pairs really well with the chocolate protein. It's an awesome combo. And then if you have any type of weight loss goals or anything like that, the Lean Plus is a product that has been clinically shown to help maximize fat loss while maintaining lean muscle. So it's an awesome product to try if you have any type of weight loss goals. Okay. So that's the whole current Xendurance product line. I know there's new products coming after the first of the year that I'm very, very excited about. I'll let you guys in on a little bit of inside information. There's a probiotic coming that I'm very, very excited to try and to help improve gut health. So more on that as they come. I'll let everybody know when it happens. So if you wanted to try these products, how can you try them? That's the big thing. Nobody wants to invest in a bag of protein until they try it for the first time. So Xendurance has created a way for people to be able to try their products for a very low cost. Now they have a sample box, which you're going to get all the products that you see here, and you'll get 2 servings of a few of them, or most of them. The Extreme Endurance is a 1-week trial pack, so you can try it for an entire week and see what kind of improvement you can get. If you want to test Karen, by all means, go ahead. Do that before you start taking it and then retest it the following week. Most people don't do that, but if you want to, it's a good way to see that product's working. So this is a great way to test the products. And from a cost perspective, they normally retails for $40, but you purchase through Stone Age's link and you'll get 10% off. So it's going to cost you $36 plus shipping. So it's a really good way, low, easy way to try 8 different products from Xendurance and see if they are a good fit for you. Okay. So that's what Xendurance has to offer. The big thing, like I said, that sets Xendurance apart is the quality. It's a much better quality product than anything you're going to find in the marketplace, anything you're going to buy at Costco, anything you're going to buy at Walmart, anything like that. The big thing here is we want to get you on a path towards better health. Getting the sample box, trying that, seeing if these products make sense for you, seeing if you like the taste of them and you're going to take them is going to help you get started on that path towards better health. So making sure that you're addressing these different things. If you think your diet is completely on point and you're all good and you don't need supplementation, by all means, go ahead. That's fine with me. Do what you got to do. But my goal here is to help you live healthier. And I think using some strategic supplementation will help you do that, and just put it to the test and make your own decision there. Okay. So that's all the information that I have for you guys right now. What I want to do is I want to show you how to get a couple free samples of the Focus. And then I want to show you how you purchase the sample box. And then after I do that, we'll open it up to any questions that you might have, and I can address anything that you want me to address in regards to supplementation. Okay. So real quick, I want to show you the supplement side of things so that you can see how to get the free samples. Now, Xendurance will send you 2 free samples of the Focus for anyone that downloads the Xendurance app. Now, if you just go to, I'm going to have Brent, I'll put the link in the chat, and then I'll send it to Brendan also to share with you guys. But if you just go to takeitfeelitshareit.com/free samples, you can put your information in here and get 2 free samples of the Xendurance Focus to try it, to see if you like it, get a taste for it. It's dragon fruit flavored. I think it tastes incredible. So you can just go here, you'll fill out you'll click get your samples, and then put your email in here, and then it will send you the link to download the app, and you'll be all set to play the Focus game. The Focus game is a 1-minute game. You can watch this video right here that shows you exactly how to do it, but it's a multiple choice game that you have to get at least 5 right, and then you'll get 2 free samples sent to your house for free from Xendurance. The Focus game, my high score, just for anybody who's competitive, my high score is 16. I did have someone get 20 the other day, so by all means, please try to beat me. And then if you want to try the sample box, I'll put the link in the chat. This is the sample box right here. You'll go to add to cart, click add to cart. Pretty simple with the checkout process. Click continue, and then you'll create a little account right here that walks you through it. If you've already done this before, I know some people with Stone Age are already Xendurance customers. You can just sign in. But if you haven't done that before, go ahead and create an account, and you'll get 10% off your first purchase by going through Stone Age's link. Okay. So that's how you order stuff. Let me have it with questions. Feel free to fire away. I will unmute everyone. And you are more than welcome to answer any questions that you might, or ask any questions that you might have. Anyone?
My question is, I started working out again a few months ago, and I'm trying to get leaner. My days of playing rugby and prop forward are well behind me, like by 10 or 15 years, but I still have all the mass. And
Sure.
what's the best stuff for me to take? My diet's been pretty good. Obviously it could be better.
Sure.
But for me, trying to, working out 4 or 5 days a week, and just trying to get a little more lean, what's the best stuff for me to be taking as an overall program?
Okay, so I'm a huge advocate of the foundational stuff, the foundational products that I talked about, the fish oil, the vitamin D, the multivitamins, because that's going to get your body in a optimal state for everything, right? The one downside to that is, I know when you're trying to lose weight, you want to see fast results. Most people want to see fast results, and I get it. I totally understand that. With a fish oil and a multivitamin, those things take time to normalize your body. They're not going to give you fast results, right? So my default answer is always address the foundation, because you need to make sure your insides are working as well as you, and as hard as you are working on your outside, right? So that's kind of a standard answer that I'll give everybody. But specifically, the thing that I always see people who are trying to lose weight is you're going really, really hard, but you're not giving yourself the time to recover and not maximizing that recovery that you're going to do. So making sure you're getting adequate protein and adequate carbohydrates so that your body can be in an optimal state for recovery is huge. And I would start by making sure the protein that you're doing is on point, and you're addressing that, and especially post workout. And then I'll be honest, man, that Lean Plus, I lost 20 pounds the first time I took it in just under 2 months, and it was sustainable. I've kept it off. I haven't gone back on it, and it made a real big difference for me, because what it does is it has a couple ingredients in there. One of them is simply put, it's like a carb blocker. So you take it before you have your biggest meals of the day, and it helps keep the carbohydrates that you take in those meals. It helps keep them from absorbing in the wrong places. And so it's going to really help with curbing your appetite a little bit, and target some fat loss while maintaining your lean muscle. And then one other product, creatine. Creatine. I will tell everybody on this call, even the women, even if you're afraid of it, get on creatine, because creatine is the energy source for your cells. And like I said, when your cells are happy, your body's happy. And what creatine does is it's going to help with muscle. It's going to help maintain muscle. And for
Yeah,
guys,
I'm actually on Xendurance Creatine right now.
Perfect.
Brendan gave me a package. Yeah.
Yeah. What time of day do you take it?
I take it. Actually, I take it right before or right after my workout.
Okay. Are you having caffeine around your workout?
I have caffeine. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. So
like
here's
a little before. I get a coffee on my way home from work every day. So
yeah, no, that's fine. I don't have a problem with caffeine. It's just caffeine and creatine, and this is a little known thing. People don't realize that caffeine and creatine actually are counterproductive when taken together, because caffeine's a diuretic, so it will actually slow the absorption or not make it work as effectively when taken together. So what I would do is, if you're having caffeine around your workout, save your creatine and take it before you go to bed every night.
Okay.
Because most people don't have caffeine right before they go to bed, or try, if you know, that's when I take it. I take it every single day right before I go to bed. I have my caffeine, or not my caffeine, my creatine right before I go to bed. I literally just take the scooper and shoot it right in my mouth. And I don't mix it with anything. Like, it's super easy. I love the flavor of the creatine JB, and it tastes awesome. So it kind of hits that sweet tooth, that sweet craving at the end of the night, because there's a little bit of sugar in there.
Mm-hmm.
And with creatine, you have to have sugar in there to help deliver the creatine. Otherwise, it doesn't work right. So that's why we put sugar in our creatine. So if anybody's taking a creatine that doesn't have anything in it, make sure you're mixing it with something. Otherwise, it doesn't deliver properly. So the only thing I would change there is move your creatine to either before bed or 2 hours away from the last time you had caffeine for the day.
Okay.
Okay. So protein, creatine, and I would seriously try the Lean Plus.
Lean Plus. All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Joe. Yeah.
Thank
no
you.
problem, dude. Anybody else got any questions? No questions? No one? Brendan, you got any questions?
No.
Oh, Nicole's got one.
Oh, sorry. I'm like talking to myself.
That's all right.
So I still don't understand creatine, I guess, being a girl and working out off and on, and I'm back to working out again.
Okay.
But how does creatine compare again to the protein powder?
Well, okay. So creatine and protein are the two most studied supplements in the history of supplements. Okay. So they've been proven safe, proven effective, all that kind of stuff. But they target different systems in your body. So like protein is going to target your muscles and help your muscles recover. All right. Creatine does that, but on a cellular level. And so if you can just bear with me for a second on the science behind creatine. Creatine is a phosphate, and your cells use for energy a thing called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, right? And so what happens when you burn energy and expend energy, it burns one of those phosphates off. So it becomes a diphosphate instead of a triphosphate. And with creatine, you are putting that phosphate back to give your cells more ATP instead of ADP, so that your body has more energy to recover. So the creatine is helping you on a cellular level to have more energy, so that all the systems of your body can recover better, because the cells have the energy that they need. And so what that has shown, creatine has shown that in men, lean muscle gain. In women, leaning out, so weight loss, because creatine focuses, it does really well with muscle and helps to burn fat. And then when it's repairing the muscle and you have more muscle in your body just naturally burns more fat. So if you've never taken creatine before, or if you've tried it in the past, I would suggest trying it again and doing it consistently for like 60 days to see if you notice a difference. And I have a feeling that you will.
Yeah, I've never taken it. That's why I always thought it was just for like the guys to get muscle.
Yeah. And that's a common misconception that a lot of people have, because, you know, back in the day, you've heard horror stories about creatine. Now, my dad, a couple years ago, I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, you need to start taking creatine. It's going to help you recover. It's going to help you feel better. It's going to help you have more energy every single day. And he's like, oh no, I can't do that. I've heard all the stories. I'm like, Dad, that was in the 1980s, and all of that stuff is no longer true. It's all been disproven, and there's different types of creatine that you can do. Creatine monohydrate is the best version to go with, but creatine monohydrate from a company called CreaPure is the purest form of creatine that you can buy. And that's what we use in our product. It's, if you look it up, if you just go to creapure.com, you can see all the clinical studies. You don't really need to do that. If you're willing to trust me, it's the safest stuff that you're going to take, and you'll get actual benefit from taking a CreaPure creatine versus any other type of creatine that's on the market. You know, like liquid creatines are BS, to be honest, completely BS. They don't do anything for you, and they're usually in such a small dosage that it doesn't matter. So try it, see if you like it.
I also have another silly question. So I did an order, but the post office wouldn't deliver it to me. Have you ever heard of that happening?
Why wouldn't they deliver it to you?
I don't know. So and they won't let my husband pick it up. So it's held hostage at the Evergreen Park post office right now.
What the heck? Go to email support@xendurance.com, and they'll send you out a new order if the post office is going to hold on to it.
Okay.
Really? Yeah, they'll send you a new order. Don't worry about it. Just email support@xendurance.com, and they'll take care of it. That's crazy. I've never heard of that.
That was my last question.
Yeah, no, I love it. I see in the chat, Mo, you had a question. Is it safe for nursing mothers? Okay. My de facto answer to this is please consult with your physician or your housewife or midwife or whatever it's called for that answer, because that is what I have to do to save my butt. But in my experience with my cousin, who was a nursing mom, and the owner of
nice job.
One of the owners of Xendurance, his wife, and other moms that I've talked to, they have all taken creatine before, during, after pregnancy, while nursing, never had any issues. It has been midwife approved. It has been physician approved by their physicians. So I have to tell you to consult with yours, but given my experience, I would say that it is safe for nursing mothers. Hope that helps. Anyone else have questions? Got it. Thanks. Yep. No problem, Mo. Anyone else? Nobody? Bob, you ain't got no questions? Oh, sorry. Bob's at work. He can't answer. He can't ask any questions. Put in the chat, what was your favorite flavor of the Muscle Farm Assault? Oh, he's got a question about collagen. I missed that part. Okay. What's your question about collagen? Go ahead and ask away. Benefits? Benefits are going to, for those of you who aren't looking at the chat, Bob's asking about collagen, the benefits of collagen. The big thing is it's going to support all the other systems of your body that aren't your muscles. And it's going to help like skin, hair, and nails, things like that. They call it the beauty protein, but specifically for performance and muscle recovery, collagen paired with a whey protein actually amplifies the effects and the absorption of the whey protein, so that you're going to amplify the effects of your muscle building and muscle recovery by taking collagen with a whey protein. So if you can have, and it doesn't have to be specifically at the same time, but it's going to help with repairing your body. We do have a doctor that wrote a blog on xendurance.com about how he has any type of surgery patients take collagen weeks before surgery, through surgery, and then weeks after surgery, because it helps with the recovery of the tissue and helps the rebuilding and the healing and all that kind of stuff. So there's a ton of benefits when it comes to collagen.
I got one question. My son, my son just started training, and he's 13 years old, be 14 in December.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's going through what I guess you could say growing pains. He's had a lot of aches and pains in his knees and joints and stuff. Is it too early for him to start taking anything, or
no?
Where age he's at right now?
No. And because I can say that, because I know the quality of everything here, there's nothing in there that's going to negatively affect him. The only thing I would potentially stay away from would be the CBD, just because I don't know what the high school is testing for or anything like that. Literally, that's the only thing that I would stay away from. With the dosages of some of these products, though, like any type of high school athlete can absolutely benefit from getting more protein in their diet, because let's face it, most kids don't eat the healthiest. They're not the cleanest eaters. And we're usually just trying to shove food into them when we can get it to them. And, it's one of those things that the better we can get them a snack, if they're going to grab a protein bar or they're going to grab a piece of candy or whatever it is, if we have an alternative for them, a protein shake is a great option. And then the Fuel 5 and the Fuel 5 Plus, or that Hydro to replace Gatorade, to replace the Powerade, so they're not doing that, and getting actual fuel for any type of training that they might do is going to help with the ultimate recovery process. But then that extreme endurance for any type of athlete, when it comes to recovery and inflammation that's happening because his body's growing, there's a ton of inflammation that's there, and it's just part of it. The extreme endurance is a game changer for athletes, for everyday health and wellness, for everybody on this call. Like, absolutely, that product is awesome. I think, Brendan, you've taken it before, and it's
every day.
It's a great product, and it helps you with the recovery process, helps reduce the inflammation in your body. So when you're new to training, or you're just getting, like, if you've taken some time off and you're coming back to training, there's that soreness that comes in. Taking the extreme endurance will help mitigate that. So you're not nearly as sore when you're coming back to training. So you recover faster. And for a young athlete, making sure that they're recovering is the most important thing, because you don't want to burn them out too early. That help, Joe?
It did. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yep.
All right, I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the Lean Plus, because weight loss is something that I'm working on. So Is the Lean Plus something you put in with the protein powder, or is it something you take separately?
It's a pill that you take separately. You take it 30 minutes before your biggest meals of the day. And we say two meals of the day. You take it 30 minutes before your two biggest meals of the day. Because I'm 6'5" and I weigh 260 pounds, when I was taking it, I did it before my biggest 3 meals of the day, just because I'm a little bigger. I would assume you're not 6'5", and you don't need as much of it as I do. So just do before your 2 biggest meals of the day, and it will help. There's a girl on Instagram that has been taking it, that has had phenomenal results with taking it. I think I'll send it to Brendan and he can send it to you, but it's awesome. It works really, really well.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else have questions? No one. All right, then. Well, if nobody else has questions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the links to get the free focus samples in the chat. There's a link to order the first link is to order any Xendurance product. You can just go to the website and order whatever you want. The second link is a direct link to the sample box, so that you can try that. Again, after the 10% discount, it's going to cost you $36. There is a code that you can use. If you're a first-time customer, you'll get 10% off no matter what. But if you're not a first-time customer, you can use the code SHAREX, SHAREX, and get 10% off again off of your next purchase. I just put that in the chat as well. And then to get the free focus samples, go to the third link that's there, and you can get 2 samples of the focus to try it, see if you like it. I promise you will, because it's awesome.
Yeah, could I 1 second just to kind of weigh in on this?
No, what do you think this is? You think you're the owner of the gym? Come on.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm just happy you can hear me.
Yeah.
So guys, and I want to be clear about this, that I don't push anything. I've taken creatine or something probably since I was probably 16, or protein powder for sure. I've taken different lines of supplements, God, forever. I take Xendurance almost exclusively across the board. I don't get anything. I pay the same amount you guys will. So I don't get any special breaks there when it comes to this sort of thing. And I don't push anything that I don't believe in, because that kind of means a lot to me. And I can say that even though, like you said, you've been in my classes, I've already been physically, I'm a little beat up as far as just, the ab tear and all that stuff. But I've never been bigger or way stronger. I feel great. Energy is great. Like I said, I take the protein every single morning, sometimes twice a day, depending on how many meals I'm going to get. I take the creatine every single day. I've probably been taking creatine, like you said, I've been taking that shit way over 20 years. All right. And I haven't grown a third head or a second head. I'm still, nothing. I'm good there. What else do I take? The Xendurance stuff. I take, and the Extreme Endurance I've been taking a while. I got off of that for a while. And during this whole squat cycle that I've been going on, I was starting to get really achy. I was having a real hard time in the middle of the year. I went back on it again. And I'll tell you what, my legs feel great. They really do. Especially when I was starting to do some of the other stuff, like you said, the wall balls, anything with heavy front squats, or a lot of them, that was really fucking me up. And then once I added that back in, I actually started to feel quite a bit better. And I've been pretty much pain-free now for the rest of the year. Trying to think. I shouldn't, but I still take the Plus. What was it? The Fuel Plus. I do love the Fuel Plus. It tastes great. I don't eat a lot of carbs during the day. I almost eat none. But when I'm in a pinch for workouts, before or after, you got to add the carbs back. And they're the fastest, most available carbs you're going to get. And there is a little bit of caffeine in there, guys. It is very little. It is not a lot. All right. And so it's important to know that you need to know about that sort of thing, because you're not going to get jittery. I think there's only 20 milligrams. It's very low end, but it is very nice. If you really beat yourself up for an hour and a half in the gym, 20 milligrams is a nice little bump to kind of keep you up a little bit longer. Like for me, I leave the gym, I go pick up the kids from school. So it helps me a lot, that little bit of caffeine. And I usually mix it in with a protein shake oftentimes. That's normally how I always do it at the end, especially if I know I'm going to be a couple hours out from a full meal. I'll do usually a scoop, maybe even 2 scoops of the Xendurance vanilla or chocolate with the fuel, because I know that'll get me to my next meal. So I'm not completely depleted, and I've got to still ride out, picking up the kids, helping them with them homework, and then usually coaching the night class too. It helps tremendously, guys. I mean, I know it's not a replacement for quality food. You have to have it. The highest quality you can afford, for sure. But if you work for a living, like I do, and you train the way we do, you need more than what you needed before. And you need more than kind of a normal person. You just do. I mean, I'm not going to say you're all performance athletes, but you kind of are by degree. You're doing a lot of work. Mm-hmm. So you've got to take care of yourself. It matters greatly. I mean, that's all I really want to say about it, because it means a lot. Like I said, I don't push shit that I don't take, you know, and I've been taking this stuff kind of for a while now, and I like it. I like it a lot. The protein mix is better than anything I've ever had, and it tastes fantastic. Like, I really enjoy my chocolate shake in the morning to start the day. I really enjoy it. It's good. But that's it. I just wanted to weigh in on that because I don't want you to think that I'm pushing shit on you, because I don't do that. But I've been pounding you guys in the head over protein and creatine though for the last few weeks. It's critical. It's critical to your guys' success. You really do need to have it. It's good for you.
Yep. No, it's right. And you're not pushing, you know, like, you can feel good about pushing it on people because this is good stuff. You're not giving them crap. If you were selling them Muscle Farm, then, you know, you could feel bad about it. But because you're telling them good stuff, you don't need to feel bad at all, because you're just, the goal here. Yeah, it works, and it's going to help everybody live healthier longer. I mean, that's the whole goal here. That's all we're trying to do. That's why you're going to the gym, busting your ass in the gym, working hard, is because you just want to live healthier longer, and that's the goal. And that's the whole point of this talk. I hope it was beneficial. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions moving forward, by all means, please feel free to reach out. My email is just mikexnd@gmail.com. I am in the Facebook group with everyone. So if you have something, look me up. Mike Behrens is my last name. You can see it in the chat window or the Zoom window. Feel free to get a hold of me anytime you have questions about anything. I'm more than happy to help out. But definitely take advantage of those free samples of the Focus and get yourself a sample box, because why not, right? So cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. It is 8:30. Almost 8:30. I have to go get my children to bed. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Brendan, I will follow up with you after this is over. And everyone else, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And hope to talk to everybody soon. Hope I can get to the gym.
Thank you, Mike.
Can't wait to see the new place.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Have a good night.
Take it easy, buddy.
Bye.